There we go. Perfect. Yay.
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. What about you?
I'm doing good.
That's great to know. That's great to know. So today we have an amazing guest. We have Michelle here in the building. Now, Michelle, before we start, I have to give you an epic introduction, an epic welcome here. So let's start with the cheering. Here we go. That was amazing. Yeah.
I want to do that for you.
Thank you. So, starting with this interview, tell me how the journey started. I mean, how acting became a passion.
Great. It's so funny. I was like writing out all of my answers to you because you gave me these answers, but I had questions beforehand, and I've written so much, and it's like I don't think I can say all of this, but I started off doing ballet, and then, but I didn't really start performing until I was like 10. I was doing like talent contests, and I was actually like a little singer-songwriter. I wrote a song about healing the environment when I was like 10.
Oh, cool.
So I performed that. I think it was called Open Wide and Heal the World. And then after that, I did a play, a school play. It was a musical, and I was the lead, and it was about this little girl who was trying to save this pet store from being demolished and turned into a parking lot. So I became friends with all of the pets in the pet store. And yeah, I really enjoyed acting at that point, but then I got involved in swimming and became a competitive swimmer, and I did that for like 10 years. But I got into writing at that, I think I was like 13 or 14. I got into screenwriting, and it was like Shakespeare in Love and Titanic. I remember carrying like the Shakespeare in Love script with me in my backpack for a really long time, and I just read it. I was obsessed with scripts, and so I wanted to go to film school. I didn't get into film school, but I started acting around that point. I went to a really great school in Orlando that was a Meisner-based school, and I just fell in love with that process and the teacher there. She was just like electric. She was just like this amazing person. And she was so free, and I wanted to be like her. I wanted to be free like her, and she was just so inspiring. And I trained there, then went to Florida State, and I trained there in theater, and also I just became friends with everyone in the film school. So I didn't get in, so I just became friends with everyone, and they invited me to act in their films, and so that's kind of how that started. I also PA'd, I was a production assistant for a lot of those films, so I got my hands on that way as well. And then I left school, and then I went back to the Art's Sake acting studio, the Meisner School in Orlando, and I studied with Yvonne, my teacher, for several years. And that's really, I think, when like the passion, well, I guess the passion took hold before that, because I dropped out of school to focus on acting. But that Meisner School had a lot to do with igniting that in me.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Now, you studied on Florida State University, right?
I did, yeah.
And what are some of the things that you enjoyed when you were studying creative writing and theater at that university?
Yeah, I had a great time. It was like the #1 party school in the country at that point. Yeah. Not that I was a big partier, because I wasn't. But it was just fun. It was just a fun place to be. My roommate, her name's Latifa, and she is from Nigeria, and so just getting to be her friend was just really cool, and getting to know her culture and like the way she cooked. And I was a horrible cook. I made myself like strawberry oatmeal, and she was like a full-on cook. So I really enjoyed spending time with her. I also enjoyed working on all of the film sets with the universe, like the student film sets. So I spent a lot of my time doing that. I also was in a off-campus play called Death on a Rooftop, which was a really dark comedy, and my character's name was Stutterbrain. So I had a bit of a stutter, but that was a really cool experience. And I also was in a sorority my second year, Kappa Delta. Let's see if I can still remember. I think that's the sign for it. KD. Only did it for 1 year, and made some cool friends, but mostly had fun going to the themed parties. There were themed parties, like, I don't know, like 80s prom or pirates or mullets on wheels. I don't know how I remember this stuff, but yeah, so it was fun.
That was cool. And then in 2004, you were in a short film called Learned Secret Treasure. Tell me, was that like your first acting gig for a film?
No, but that was actually a student film at Florida State.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And then my first film was actually at Florida State. I played the lead in a short film that was about this girl who had this overactive imagination and was obsessed with this character in one of her books, or like a series of books. And it was like this woman who she had a samurai sword, and she was just like an awesome fighter. And anyways, so I become like this character. I'm not really explaining it well, but in the short film, I like, obsess over this girl, and I become this character, and then like I don't know, I have like magical powers to like stop a bus. It's been so long, but that was my first one. And then the short that you talked about, Leonard's Secret Treasure, actually, I think it was a guy who had a foot fetish, and
okay,
yeah, and I was the foot. So I remember getting a pedicure for that, and I was in it. But I didn't really interact. I was like this person that this guy like fantasized about my feet. Really funny. It's like the first projects we do are just crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're funny. I mean we all have to start somewhere, right? And most of these projects, I have watched like a few of those projects, and they're hilarious. They're super fun.
Yeah, it's crazy what like students in film school come up with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Now, on your website, there is a section called clips and videos, in which we will see all of your of your scenes. But tell me about Dreamland, video clip 1 and 2, and tell me about that project and about your character there.
Well, thank you for asking. That was a really cute love story about kind of like two star-crossed lovers, if you will. They're both like this guy and this girl. They're both film geeks. My character, I work in a video store, kind of like Blockbuster, way back when, if anyone can remember that. And this other guy, he's a movie buff too. And the thing is that the store that I work in, I'm in like an alternate dimension. And so it's like a certain time of day every night, like this door appears and he sees it and he's able to walk in, and it's like, oh, it's a video store. And all of the films that we know today as they are, they're a bit jumbled in like my reality. Like Casablanca will have different stars attached to it, or I can't remember what specific movies we talked about in the film, but just names and people were flip-flopped. And I talked about it like, oh no, this is fact. This is how it really is. And he's like, what are you talking about? But anyways, eventually, he gives me like, I don't know, like a film encyclopedia book that lists all of the movies, titles, and actors involved, and directors and everything, from his reality. And it just like shocks my world. I can't believe it. My world's been shattered. And then I find a way to leave my reality and I jump into his. And that's it.
So cool.
It's really cute. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we will see another video called Annie Marshall. I'll tell you about that project.
Okay, cool. So that that's a project that I made. I wrote that. And I starred in it, and I had my friend direct it, and it's basically the title used to be called Break a Dick.
Okay.
But I changed it to something a little bit more user-friendly. So, and the idea came from at the time I was auditioning for a lot of commercials where I was like 10 years older than I was. And then I went out for like a Viagra commercial, and like the script was ridiculous. It was just absolutely ridiculous. And with commercial auditions, there's a lot of improv involved, and they'll have your lines written on like a not even a dry erase board, but a board with paper that you write on.
Okay.
And so your lines will be up there. You won't be given the lines beforehand. And the director will tell you what to do and where to go, and using props and whatnot. And it was just ridiculous. And I felt like the casting director was hitting on me. So,
oh my God.
So it was just insane.
Yeah.
And so I just wrote a funny short about that experience. And I actually wrote a sitcom with the title name Annie Marshall. It's the same character, the same character, and so that's that.
That's crazy. So you pretty much make that too. Okay, that's crazy. That must have been like a very weird experience, though.
Oh, totally. But like, once you move to LA, you'll start having all of these weird stories and incidences.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, it just happens. Especially as an actor, there's so many weird stories that you live through, or you all of a sudden you find yourself in. So that was one of them, and I thought it was so funny. So,
yeah. Now, also on your website, there is a section called. Sorry. Also on that same section, you appeared in a music video called "Tonight Is the Night I Die." Tell me some of the difference between being on a set for a music video and the one for like a movie or a TV show. Or...
Yeah, and that was great. So that was with one of my favorite directors. His name is Patrick Reynolds. He directed that. He also directed Open 24 Hours, and he's a great horror director. But the difference is, I would say, you still have the hurry up and wait. There's still the waiting. I remember I was on set for probably close to 12 hours, and I didn't work that much in that particular video. I probably worked for about maybe 10, 15 minutes, So, and plus it's a music video. But what was crazy about that is, and that was shot in LA, so I flew out to LA to do that. But I got all done up in hair and makeup, and I had these it's beautiful. All of the girls wore beautiful dresses. Like, I looked like Cinderella. Yeah. And then my very first scene, they had me do my death scene, which is me in like this pool with a rain machine going, and I'm screaming, and I'm trying to like swim through the water, and this vampire comes out and like kills me. And it was cold. The water was heated. It was freezing. But we did that first, and then I had the rest of the shoot after that. So I just thought it was crazy to just get in hair and makeup. I didn't really need to do all of that.
Yeah.
But it was still a great experience. I loved it. I love horror projects. And just to continue answering your question. Oh yeah, there's no quiet on set.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's a music video. It's not really important to listen unless you have dialogue in the music video, which happens. Yeah. But there's no quiet on set. So you'd hear, rolling and whatnot, but people could like move around and talk, and you didn't necessarily, not like talk too loud, but you didn't have to be, super quiet.
Right, yeah. And I bet, I assume that they will put the song on the background, right? So you can have like the proper pace with the video.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was a dance sequence, and they had the choreographer like counting out all the steps, and they had the music playing. So that was really cool. And there's also like music videos are typically more stylish, so there's, not to say that there's not production design and set deck that are all over the place on films, because that's also true. But I just thought there was a lot of attention paid to like the lighting and like what mood the lighting was giving and so forth.
Yeah. Cool.
But, yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
Like,
And I think that music video has like 1 million views at this point. So it's good.
Now tell me about Open 24 Hours. I mean, was that like the first horror movie you did? And can you tell me about your character?
Trying to think if that was the first horror project. No, I did a horror movie called Shock Value in 2013. So that was my first horror film. But I loved Open 24 Hours. I did the pitch trailer. It was down to me and this other actress for the lead in the actual film. But she was great. Vanessa Grace, I think is her name. But yeah, the character in this story is awesome. So she works in a gas station. She's just started working in a gas station. She has the graveyard shift. She's trying to get her life back together. She was dating this guy who was a murderer, and he would just kill people whenever it rained. And which is terrifying because I don't know, kind of rains a lot in some places. And so she's having to take meds to to be grounded, to be fit to come back into society and have a job. And so she's working her first shift at the gas station, and it's raining. There's a horrible rainstorm, and then she starts to have like these flashes. It's like, oh my god, am I seeing things or am I not? Kind of that horror juxtaposition of like, is this reality? Am I imagining this? And so it turns out to be her ex-boyfriend, and he's after her. He's coming to kill her, and I'm like ruining it if anyone actually wants to see the actual film. But doing the pitch trailer was amazing. We flew out to Louisiana to do it. Louisiana? No. What's the other state? Oh my god. Mississippi. We flew out to Mississippi. And it was great. We went into these really creepy car graveyards. We shot in those. I had to run around screaming. We found a creepy gas station to film in. We found like this old abandoned paper mill. It's huge and disgusting and gross. Just like grime on the wall, and it was disgusting, but like I loved it. I thought like that's one thing I love about working on horror is like it's kind of messy. It's
true.
kind of messy. It's fun,
Yeah. And tell me how you will break character to return to be you again, especially like in a horror movie, because of the whole chasing and running and screaming and shouting. And so how
do I like come out of that?
Yeah, and be like, okay, it's me again. Let's continue.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting because like I will, depending on what type of character it is, and if we're working on horror, and the character is particularly having a hard time, there's a lot of psychological issues going on and disturbances. I will do a lot of work on like kind of channeling, like there's any like, I know it's kind of like going in the spiritual route, but that's something that I do,
Yeah.
I'll ask like, okay, I need to channel this character, this essence, this energy, and that can it's really creepy and amazing when that happens because you feel that shift happen inside of you, and you kind of take on this other thing. So I'd say to break out of that, I always just I say thank you. I'm thankful for the energy that was there to help me. And I don't know, I'll take like a hot shower, use sage, Palo Santo, like those cleansing.
Yeah.
Do that. And going for a run is also really great. Like, I think being physical for actors is really important, and that's just helpful for me. That can help me just get out. Yeah.
Wow. And tell me, besides that, you just mentioned that you like horror films because they're messy. What are some of the other things that you like about acting on horror films?
Yeah. I had like, let me see if I wrote anything specifically for this. No, I didn't. Okay. I really love diving into the complexities of the characters that you often find in horror. They're usually, they've got some psychological stuff going on.
Yeah.
So I like exploring that. There's usually a history of trauma of some sort that they're coming through. So I enjoy exploring that and becoming those types of characters. But I also just love like screaming and running around. Like, I think it's really fun, like being chased by some bad guy with like a knife or a gun or something and just like screaming and like hiding, and I don't know. I just enjoy it. I know it's weird. Yeah,
it's fine. I mean, running around, screaming here and there, hiding. That's totally. I mean, right now in this world, I think it's pretty normal. That so.
Yeah.
But I think like also being like a villain, that would be cool too.
Yeah. I guess I've been playing villains lately, but certainly not in the horror sense. And I think that would also be a lot of fun.
Yeah, because I mean, the good thing about that is that you can go all out, and at the end of the day, you're the villain. So you're supposed to do that. So no matter how hard you scream or whatever you do, something, it's like it's a villain. It's fine. So
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Now you were also in Yellowstone. Now tell me, how did you got that gig, and did you have to learn to do origami?
Yes, I did. Okay, so cool story. The reason why I moved out to New Mexico 4 years ago is because my mentor, former acting coach, his name's Taylor Sheridan. He's an angel in my life. He's like super famous now, but he created Yellowstone. He wrote Yellowstone, and he actually wrote that role for me in season 1. So that is how I came to be on the show, and it was just an amazing experience getting to go up there. It was shot in Utah. It was just amazing, and I was so nervous. I taught myself how to to make an origami frog before I even got there.
Yes.
And also, like, fun fact, I like frogs. I have them everywhere. And but they flew me up early to have origami lessons. And I was like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna kind of pretend like they're teaching me, but I pretty much knew what I was doing because I wanted to be prepared. Yeah. And do I still do origami? I do not, but I should. It's really fun. It's really cool.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah. And you also appeared in Modern Family. Tell me also about that experience.
Yeah, that was really cool. So I was working on News of the World at the time. I know we're going to get into that, but I was actually a production assistant for the film. And I got an audition for Modern Family, and oddly enough, my LA agent had dropped me like, I don't know, a week before. So to get this audition directly from the casting director, I was like, oh, this is cool. This is great. And I had 2 days notice. So I flew to LA and I auditioned and flew back, and then I got the call that I booked it. So I flew back to LA, and I played like an 80s jazzercise lady, and the two younger kids in the show, oh my god, I'm forgetting their names, Nolan and Ricky, I can't remember. Oh my god, I'm so mortified forgetting their names. But I worked with them, and they were basically like going through this hotel and trying to find like older women to hit on, and I guess I wasn't old enough for them, and so like they joined this workout class to like work out, and then they're like asking out girls in the class, and I wasn't old enough, and so they're like, all right, see ya. But it was great. It was cool. Courtney Cox was in that episode. David Beckham
too. Yeah.
It was just like so cool, and like I love Courtney Cox. I feel like we have similar energies, and maybe even a similar look. I don't know. I've been told that before. But anyways, it was really cool. The filming itself, happened really fast.
So so it only took like a couple of hours and then you were done?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was cool.
I would say like me being on set was probably 30 minutes, 40 minutes.
Oh, okay. So that was fast. But still, I mean, really awesome experience. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah. It was amazing. And more often than not these days, the more expensive project you're working on, the more cameras they have. So you're not going to be doing a lot of turning around and stuff. So there's less setups going on. They'll have like the close up and the medium and like the far away shot kind of happening at the same time sometimes. So that was the case for that show.
That's so cool. And now for News of the World, how was the experience there of being in that film?
Amazing. It was so cool. It was ridiculous. So this executive producer that I worked with in LA, he was coming here, and he reached out to me just to catch up, and we caught up, and I was like, hey, can I work on your film in some capacity? Like, I will be someone's assistant, etc., whatever, because I was waitressing at the time, and I had been a waitress for 16 years. It's like that old joke, like, oh, you're an actress? What restaurant do you work at? So I was like, I just want to find a way. I want to find a way out of this waiting tables work. So I was able to work as a PA. I thought I was going to be someone's assistant. Turned out to be everyone's assistant, because that's who you are when you're a PA. And it was amazing. So within the first 3 weeks, they had all of the PAs in wardrobe, because there was a lot of background actors, and they had us directing the background actors. And like 2 weeks in to the show, the first AD was like, Michelle, come here. He's like, you're gonna have a line with Mr. Hanks. I was like, what? Okay.
So cool. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, great. So so I did. I just had a couple lines. One line made it in, and I got to be on what am I trying to say? On camera. I got to be on camera for 2 days. I mean, it was just amazing. Like getting to know everyone on that set. It was just an incredible experience. And something else that's also cool is when I went to audition for Modern Family, like Tom Hanks was like, "Hey, good luck," or "Hey, or break a leg," or something.
Oh, cool.
It was probably break a leg.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was just like, "Oh my God, did that really just happen?" So it was amazing. I'm really grateful. Yeah.
Yeah. That's so awesome. And tell me how you prepare to to deliver such awesome characters. I mean, what's your inspiration?
Thank you. I think doing the work is the most important aspect. You know, I recently got to work as a nurse on a project, and I think I interviewed like 5 or 6 nurses. I spent a really long time just diving into what it would be like to be a nurse, to have this profession, why I want to have this profession. So I think doing the backstory and just really finding a way to connect myself to all of these different stories that I'm hearing from these people that I'm interviewing. I think that's my inspiration for like performances. Did I answer your question right? I don't know.
Yep.
Okay.
Now, what are some of the best moments on your acting career so far that you enjoy the most?
I would say this project that I recently worked on. It was just incredible. I can't really say a lot about it, but I did come back on Yellowstone season 4. I'll just say that. So, and getting to work with the people that I worked with was just phenomenal. It was amazing.
Cool.
Yeah. Masterclass.
So yeah. And tell me, what is the number one thing you always bring with you when you have to go shoot a film?
Oh, I bring like matcha or coffee. I'm more of a matcha drinker these days. So I bring that with me to set, because you never know what's going to happen when you get there. You might be rushed to hair and makeup right away. You won't be able to go to crafty. That's why it's also good to get there early. But yeah, I like to bring matcha and then my own water.
Okay.
And your phone. I don't know.
Yeah. And how you usually prepare to start acting on set?
How do I prepare? Sorry, where is that? Da 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 da. How do I prepare? Yes. I do my homework, kind of like what I was saying before about like doing a lot of work with character backstory and just doing as much research as you possibly can. So doing my homework, knowing my character inside and out, knowing my lines, of course, and getting a lot of sleep. Sleep is important. Yeah,
absolutely. I agree on that.
Yeah.
I agree on that. And what do you usually do after a long day on set?
I scream out of excitement. Do a lot of dancing in the car as I'm driving home. No, I'll have like wine, a little bit of wine, a nice dinner, or like if I'm absolutely exhausted, I'll probably just take a shower and like not even dry my hair and just like crash out.
Yeah. And if you could describe your career at the moment on a movie, what would be the title?
Oh, okay. Nevertheless, she persisted.
That's a good title. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. I thought so. It's like I've been doing this for 16 years. I'm still here, and I'm finally like starting to get some traction, you know. But yeah, I lived in LA for a long time and had to deal with a lot of like patriarchal macho bullshit, and you know, I'm really proud of myself for sticking to it, and I'm still here, and it's working.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think that it must be like an amazing feeling, know that you're still standing and you've been like through a lot, but you're still like fighting to keep operating more and more. That's really cool and really inspiring, by the way. That's really cool.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, like one of my coaches, her name is Sarah Mornell, and she always says, "Oh, thank you, Michaela. Hello, I love you." Yeah, Sarah Mornell. She's like, sometimes it's just about being the last person standing.
Oh.
You know, so I don't plan to quit anytime soon.
There you go.
We'll see.
Awesome.
See what happens. Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah. I remember that in one of my first interviews, one of the things they told me that pretty much is stuck in my head until this day was that whenever you wanna do something, you have to realize that you will have to that there's gonna be a lot of sacrifices, a lot of hard moments, but at the end of the day, if you continue there, then all the rewards that are gonna come, they're gonna be just amazing, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the hard work is what makes you. It's like a diamond doesn't become shiny on its own, you know. Has to go through a lot to become what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I really believe that. I think the magic in your craft and who you become is in the work. You know, if everyone was doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, they would.
And tell me, if you could give an advice to someone who recently started on the acting business, what would you say?
Yeah, I would say work hard. The magic is in the work, people. That's what I would say. No, I'd say study. You know, you have the opportunity to study with people all over the world or country now, you know. You know, my coach in Atlanta is amazing. Her name's Sarah Mornell. You know, I've been in her class for a year online for the past year. Okay. So seek out the best teachers. You have access to them, you know, because of the pandemic. And watch TV, you know, watch TV, watch movies, study those actors, study, you know, study their movements, study how much they're not blinking, because acting on film and TV is strange. You can't move around a lot. You have to be very still, and there's a lot of technical aspects that come with that training. But if you watch TV, watch movies, and study that way, you'll get a lot from it.
There you go.
Yeah.
Now you also do voiceover. Now tell me, what do you like the most about doing that?
I love all of it. I love the whole process. It's really fun. There's my question. Is that 22?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. So I love the range that you get to have. You know, you can be a little bug. Yeah, a little itty bitty bug or something small. You know, or you could be like an evil headmistress. Or something. Like you can have all of this range. You know, it can be all sorts of things. Doesn't matter what you look like. And it's really creative, and what am I trying to say? Trying to say like formless, or you know, there's not as many. It's like you're not as constricted. It's very creative. You can do so much. And so I enjoy the creative aspect of voiceover.
Plus, I think that it's also comfortable, right? I mean, you can wear the clothes you want, and it's fine.
Yeah, and I have my booth right here, and I can just wear whatever or nothing. I usually wear pajamas, honestly, and it's great. And you, if you have for auditions, you record whenever. If you book something, you have to get up early usually, but you're still at home. Unless you go to a studio. If you go to a studio, you might want to wear normal clothes. But the people in the voiceover industry are just, they're unparalleled. They're so kind. They're so sweet. The voiceover community is just amazing.
Yeah, and I think also because of COVID, that gave the opportunity to the whole voice acting to explode, right? To have like more chances for voiceover positions. I mean, for voiceover gigs, though.
Absolutely, yeah. And the ability to record from home has been amazing.
Yeah. And tell me, what is the process you take to prepare the voice for a character?
Yeah, so I'll look at the project and see who's behind it, who the showrunner is, the director, the network, because that's going to inform the tone of the piece. And are we talking to little kids or older kids or adults? And then I go through the copy, and I try to find the funny. Usually with animation, you find the funny, or if it's commercial, you need to break it down. The copywriters write copy in like this. It's like a puzzle, and so you have to pick apart all the pieces. So basically, script analysis. I do script analysis, and look for all the physicality aspects, and then see where my voice sits within how I perceive this character. Sometimes there's a picture, that helps a lot. We get to see like how big or small their mouth is, and their shape and everything. And then I do vocal warm-ups. I drink a lot of water, and I just start playing with it. I play around with it before I start recording, just to save myself some time and headache when I'm editing.
Okay. And what are some of your favorite moments while doing ADR?
Yeah, so I worked on the Flash, and I got to do a lot of effort noises, like fight noises, like getting hit, being punched. I love that. It's really fun. And then on this Disney pilot called Neckpea Island, I played an evil raccoon.
That's cool.
So it's just making like weird raccoon noises. And even for that audition, it's like, okay, I had to Google raccoons and like, okay, what kind of sounds do they make? And how can I like make this lift this and make this into more of a character for a kid's show. Anyways, so that was really fun. And then for House of Cards, I did some voice matching, and I played like a baby screaming. No, it wasn't a baby. It was a person. It was like a woman. I played a woman screaming on the phone. Yeah. And I got to work with my friend Debbie Derryberry for that particular job. And that was really cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what are some of your favorite moments while doing commercial ads?
How short they are.
True.
The joke. Yeah, so commercials are generally really short. Actually, animation is too. ADR, they're all, you're not going to be necessarily in the studio for too long, or at least in my experience. A session lasts 4 hours, unless you're doing like some intense video game stuff where you're screaming and yelling and shouting and stuff. But the spots I've done for commercials have been really bright and vibrant and upbeat. And so I've just enjoyed that aspect.
So cool.
Yeah.
And what did you enjoy the most about doing Sadie the parrot?
Oh my god, it was so great. Again, with another animal, I for the audition, I Googled, what sounds parrots make.
Yeah.
And then transporting that to like, okay, how am I going to make this sound for a kid's character on a kid's show that's for, preschool age kids. So I had a lot of fun doing that. It was really cool. And again, the recording process for that was like 30 minutes. And recorded by myself, and just had a lot of fun doing the squawking. It's like, squawk! Doing that a bunch of times, and then adding words into it, like, squawk! Sadie spoke. Squawk! I don't know. It was just, it was so fun.
Yeah. Do you still do like some of those noises here and there, like for fun?
All the time.
Cool. That's spirit. That's the spirit.
I'm always doing like weird animal noises.
That's cool. And tell me, what are some of the after audition thoughts you usually have?
Let's see. So most auditions these days are, on camera. They're self-tapes usually. And then for voiceover, you have control of that because you are doing it yourself at home and then sending it in. So once I'm done with either of those auditions, I usually just like to go outside and like shake it off. You don't tend to be as analytical as if it was a live audition. If it was a live, audition, then afterwards I would be just replaying the whole thing over and over and over. Like, did it go well? Did I say that line right? Okay, they liked me, or oh no, they just said thank you. So you just go through this litany in your head. There's that classic, like, you did your best take in the car on the way home. Or you like say the lines over again. But yeah, I think the nerves and butterflies, as far as what I'm thinking afterwards, come into play more when there's a live audition.
Yeah, of course. And what do you usually do after like a live audition? What do you usually do?
I scream. No, I guess I just get really quiet and just let myself think about what just happened, and then I put my script away, or I've heard some people tear up your script, like rip it up, throw it away.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Just to symbolize like it's over, like moving on, because that's the next thing. You're not supposed to obsess over what just happened. You have to let it go.
Yeah.
Let it go. So it's good to get on the phone with a friend, have plans right afterwards to meet someone or talk to someone, go work out. The last thing you want to do is be by yourself for an extended amount of time, because then you'll just,
all of those things will haunt you. Yeah, totally. And then when you realize it's like 3-4 hours later and you haven't done anything.
Yeah, you're still
like
thinking.
overthinking. Yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah. So it's hard, but you have to make yourself not do that. Go outside. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's interesting how sometimes it will happen, right? That you go to an audition and then you will feel like, oh, I got this gig, and then turn out that you didn't, and then with the audition you're like, I don't think that I will get it. You ended up getting it.
That's happened. Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that happens a lot. You're like, oh my gosh, I bombed that audition. I'm never gonna hear from them again. Oh, you booked. What?
Yeah.
Okay.
How cool. Now, on your Instagram page, in your story section, there is one called the voiceover adventures. Now, tell me, how did you get the idea to create such funny and awesome stories?
Well, thank you for thinking that they're funny and awesome. I don't know, because I'm just weird, and like I've said before, I'm always making silly noises.
Yeah.
and animal noises and stuff. And I think once I found those clip art things on Instagram where there's eyes and the nose and the mouth and stuff, I was like, ooh.
I got it. Yeah.
Yeah, I can do something fun with this. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty fun. I mean, those who are watching should definitely check on that because they're pretty funny though.
Oh, thank you very much.
They're pretty funny. When I was watching that, I made a mistake because I was having my headphones and I was wearing the headphones I use for mixing because I'm also a DJ, and the volume of the cell phone was up, and then when there were the parts on the screen, I was like, dang it.
No.
But it was funny though. I was like, okay, happens.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. Don't worry. But tell me, if you could do the voiceover for any movie, TV show, or even a video game, which one you would choose?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I think I'm finding that at least for voiceover, my niche is more for little kids, like younger kids content, which I love, which is great. You know, I think I'd love to be in a Nickelodeon, Disney, Pixar, any of those as like a bird or like some animal of some kind. You know? Yeah. I'm really good friends with my mentors, E.G. Daily and Debbie Derryberry, and they're prolific voice actors. And I love the work that they've done, you know, being like Tommy Pickles or Jimmy Neutron. I know those are little boy voices. But yeah, I could do like little boy voices too, you know? So I love the trajectory that their career has taken. So something like that, or like, God, even like Doc McStuffins, you know? Yeah. But yeah, you know, I love the video game. I would do it all.
Anything.
You know?
There we go. That's the spirit. So if there's any producer listening to this later, make sure to call her. So
thank you so much.
That's cool. And you know, it's so interesting so you will give the voice for a character, and then what you said, they're not gonna believe it. But then, for example, I saw the other day this interview with Tom Hanks in which he's saying that he was one time in the elevator, and then there was a woman and a child. So the woman told to the child like, "Hey, this is Woody," and the kid was like, "Nah, that's not Woody. Come on, it's an old man." And then Tom Hanks was like, "Close your eyes." So then the kid closed her eyes. He started to be Woody, and then the kid just like his eyes were like writing, and that was really cool. The fact that you can portray the character and to make people, to make people have a good time. That's really inspiring. That's really awesome.
Yeah, that's so cool. And there's like a sense of anonymity that you have, not Tom Hanks, but you know, a lot of voice actors, you know, you can go out and just be who you are and no one's gonna know. I think that's really cool.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool, absolutely. Now, tell me, what inspires you to keep going and making really awesome things? Like, what is the number one thing that drives you? Because I mean, when I was doing the research here, I saw your Instagram with the content, and then like how much energy you have, and how like you like to do this and then this and then this. Let's go to do like tons of different things. Like, what is like how you come up with that such amazing vibe and energy?
Oh, thank you very much. I don't know. I guess I just really believe in my heart and soul that like I'm meant to be a performer and an actor, and I want it so much, and I just don't see myself doing really anything else. I have veered into coaching, which I love. I love coaching. I have a voiceover coaching business called Southwest Voices, and I love doing that. I've also been coaching kids on camera. So it's still within the realm of storytelling, of performing. You know, I also write. So like, just keep doing it. And auditions certainly help, you know, whenever auditions come up, it's like, okay, let's do it. You know, but as far as like creating content, I'm trying to work on more content with my partner, Matt, and we're trying to do like some funny videos, just to create stuff, you know. Yeah, I guess I'm just inspired to keep going. I want to keep going. Yeah,
I agree on that.
Yeah,
maybe more. Yeah, totally. And my last question here would be, what's the message you want to deliver to the future generations?
Such a big question. Oh my God.
Right?
No pressure. For people, for actors, for both.
Let's go both.
Both, yeah. So, I think a lot of actors get into the business, especially nowadays, because they want fame right now. You know, it's like the social media thing, right?
Yeah.
Instant gratification. So, I think doing inner work, really knowing yourself and knowing who you really are, I think that is of paramount importance for anyone and actors to do as they get into their journey of acting. Go to therapy. Do it. Know who you really are. Do all of your inner work. Go through all of your heal your traumas and whatnot. Go through all of that healing process. Do that for yourself, and that's to anybody, you know. But as far as actors are concerned, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. You know, you're you know, what you're doing is a great art, and you're offering catharsis to people and healing to people and using storytelling if that means to do that. So fall in love with that aspect, and like fall in love with getting to know people and being curious about people and what makes them tick and who they are, and not about how you look or are becoming famous. And do the work. I know we've talked about that a lot, but the work is really the magic, I think, and it's what's going to make you great. So just do the work.
There you go. Dropping the phone, you know, like. Wow. Yeah, but it's true. I mean, it's kind of funny that a lot of people would say just do the work, but at the same time, that's all you need to do. And in order for you to do that, you have to discover it. Because I think also another thing that maybe is happening now these days is that whenever we want to do something, we want everything to be already prepared so we can start like in the most comfortable position, as you know. And we don't realize that you need to search here or there, or do this and investigate this, or don't buy, or maybe you think that you bought like a lot of. It happened to me when I started with a whole music production. I bought like a lot of equipment, thinking like, yeah, I need this. I had everything, and then when I started, I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. So now I have a lot of equipment. I'm like, okay, cool. And it looks cool, but I need of course like to take classes and to search content here and there so I can get inspired and be like, okay, I can do this instead of this. But yeah, that is like one of the things that maybe that you need to do. You need to pretty much work. Yeah,
and it's hard. It's not easy. And that's the thing. You talked about this earlier about like failure. Like no one teaches you to get comfortable with failure, and that failure is on your path to success. It doesn't mean stop, you know. Going and know that it is going to be uncomfortable, so get comfortable with the uncomfortableness of it and how hard it is, because you know, you'll look back on everything that you have done. You're going to feel an immense sense of self-worth and pride, and satisfaction. You know, just like you were saying earlier, if something is just given to you, it's like, all right.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, I see it with my little cousins, and that they will give him like the brand new iPhone or iPad or something like that, and it would be like, meh, okay, and like, and when you and like that first moment when you get your first job and you get your first paycheck and you buy something. I mean, I bought like what did I bought? I bought a rubber duck. I don't know why I bought it, but with my first paycheck, I bought a rubber duck, and I still have it with me because it means a lot. I was like, that's my rubber duck. I mean, I bought that one. But, it's interesting, and I also think that another problem is that for my generation, for example, they never taught us how to prepare to fail. I mean, they pretty much told us you can be an actor or an athlete or a rock star, a rapper, whatever you want. Yes, but they never told us that there's a flip side here, that you need to put a lot of work on it and to have like a lot of hours and to prepare. Most important, prepare. So I think that is also one of the things, because when we think of an actor, we just see like all the glamour and the fame and the money, and you're like, that's amazing, I want that. Yes, but when you see all the hard work that person do, then you're like, yeah, probably I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm just gonna do something else.
I'm gonna do something else. Yeah, I can't handle that. Yeah, there's a really great picture of like it's an iceberg photo, and there's like, you know, for actors, and it's like what you see, and it's like everything you said, but then underneath it is just like all of the years of work, the tears, you know, the failed auditions, you know, like all of the jobs you have to work in order to pay for classes, or all of this stuff, you know. But it's worth it, you know, if it's what you want to do, if you love storytelling, if you love the art form of film and TV and voiceover and storytelling, do it. And just know that it's not going to be easy, but it will be worth it. And I think, you know, that you can apply that logic to anything, like going to the gym and getting like ripped. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to be fun. It's going to suck. But you're going to be so proud of yourself, and you're like, oh yeah, you know, I look great. In my coaching, I often compare. I compare this to athletics. You know, I got that from Sarah Mornell. That's what she said. Okay. You know, train like you're an athlete.
Preach.
You know? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, Michelle, thank you so much for being here on the show.
Thank you. This has been great.
You are an amazing, super talented actor with so much. With this huge, amazing, super vibes. That's really cool. Yeah. I mean, we can't wait to see more of your awesome job. I mean, thank you also those for watching. And I mean, definitely look forward to see more of your awesome work. Hopefully, one day in Pixar. Why not? Let's do that. Let's make it trendy. Let's make a hashtag right now and make it trendy.
Wait, what's the hashtag?
Huh?
What's the hashtag?
I'm thinking of it right now. Give me 1 second. Okay. It would be.
Is it like summarizing this interview?
Yeah. Like to put you on Pixar, like so we can add Pixar on the hashtag. You know.
Oh, okay.
Dang it! I'm gonna think of something and I'll let you know soon when I have it. But in the meantime, thank you so much again. Before I send you off, I need to send you off again with an epic effect here. So here we go again. There we go. At some point, I promise that I'm gonna have like my talk show, and it's gonna be like real people. That would be cool one day. But in the meantime,
you will.
Huh?
You will.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, thank you again, and thank you those for watching. Also, make sure that you're following Michelle in all of her social media. What I normally do is that so you would put pause for this video for a while, or if you're listening to the podcast right now, put pause, follow her right now, share some of her content, leave a lot of likes, and then come back and and again, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. We have a lot of amazing guests coming up this week, and Michelle, thank you again, and I'll see you in the next one.
Thank you so much. Have a good day.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.